My beloved child, listen closely because what I am about to reveal to you tonight is something truly meaningful. This message did not find you by chance. Among countless people scrolling through endless content, somehow your attention stopped here. That moment was not an accident. Before this video comes to an end, you will understand why someone in your life has been acting distant, uncertain, and quiet, while still being unable to completely leave your side. Do not skip any part of this message. Stay until the end, because something powerful is waiting for you. There is someone, a very particular person, who holds feelings for you much deeper than you may realize at this moment. When everything around them becomes silent, their thoughts return to you. They remember your conversations, your words, and the little moments you shared. They search for signs from you, even though they may never openly admit it. But there is something stopping them from fully accepting what they feel. There is one thing they are struggling to understand completely. It has a connection to your appearance in some way. But before your heart begins to worry, and before your mind creates painful assumptions, listen carefully to every word, because the reality behind this is much deeper than what you may first believe. This is not about being flawless. This is not about the unrealistic beauty standards that society places on people. This is not about changing yourself to become someone else just to be accepted. No, this is connected to something much deeper, something emotional and hidden beneath the surface. If you have ever felt that someone was becoming distant because of the way you look, share your thoughts below. Because the surprising truth is that the very thing they struggle to accept may actually be the exact thing that makes their feelings for you grow stronger with every passing day. Yes, you heard that right. Do not leave yet, because what you are about to discover may completely change the way you see yourself. This person notices things about you that others completely overlook. While other people only see your smile, they notice the emotions hidden behind that smile. While others hear your laughter, they sense the tiredness and struggles you try to keep hidden. While people may only look at your appearance for a brief moment and move on, this person pays attention to every small detail as if it carries a deeper meaning. And that is what scares them. Because caring about you feels powerful. It feels overwhelming. It reaches a place inside their heart that they have tried to protect for a long time. You have a presence that reveals emotions without you even trying. You make people face truths they have spent years avoiding. And the thing they struggle with is not truly about your physical appearance. It is about what your appearance represents. It is about what they feel when they look at you and what it reveals about who you are beneath everything else. Maybe it is the tiredness in your eyes that shows everything you have survived. Maybe it is the way you hide your pain behind your strength. Maybe it is the quiet insecurity you believe nobody notices. But they noticed. They saw the things you thought were invisible. And yes, it affected them deeply, because they were never expecting someone like you to enter their life so unexpectedly. They were prepared for simple connections, temporary emotions, shallow conversations, and people who were easy to understand. Then you appeared, and suddenly everything became complicated. There are moments when this person looks at your pictures longer than they should, not because they are criticizing you, but because they are trying to understand why your face creates feelings inside them that they cannot explain. A part of them wants to move closer to you. A part of them wants to open their heart completely. But another part wants to protect itself because your appearance carries something rare. It carries honesty, it carries vulnerability, it carries a sense of truth. And for someone who has spent years hiding behind emotional walls, realness can feel frightening. Listen carefully, because this next part is important. The thing they struggle to accept is not that you are imperfect. The thing they struggle with is that you are genuine in a world where so many people pretend. Think about how rare that is today. We live in a world filled with filters, performances, forced confidence, fake smiles, and connections that often lack depth. But your presence reveals something authentic. Your appearance reflects who you truly are. And authenticity has a way of making people look at themselves honestly. That is why this connection feels so intense. That is why they move closer and then suddenly create distance. That is why their energy changes even when nothing obvious has happened. Comment below if you are tired of feeling like you have to be perfect just to deserve love. Because every time they look at you, something inside them reacts. Something they cannot easily control, And what happens next may completely surprise you. Soon, this person may stop running from the emotions they have been trying to hide. The walls they built around their heart are slowly beginning to break, quietly, gradually, emotionally. But before that moment arrives, something unexpected may happen between the two of you. It could be a conversation. It could be a simple look. It could be a moment of silence that seems ordinary from the outside but carries a powerful meaning within. And after that moment, everything begins to change. You will finally understand why they acted the way they did for so long. Because deep inside, they were afraid. They were afraid that loving you would reveal their own insecurities. They were afraid that your honesty would bring their old emotional wounds to the surface. They were afraid that someone as genuine as you could see through every mask they had created. Do not skip now. You are getting closer to understanding the truth. This person remembers small details about you that even you may have forgotten. They remember the way your expression changes when you are trying not to show sadness. They notice the little moments when you try to hide your emotions. They see more than your appearance. They see you. The way your eyes look away when you are carrying pain deep inside. The way your expression changes when someone finally sees the emotions you hide. These little details keep replaying in their thoughts again and again without stopping. And what frustrates them the most is the feeling of losing control because they always wanted to understand and manage everything around them. But love does not wait for permission before entering someone's heart. It does not announce itself. It arrives unexpectedly, quietly, and sometimes in the most overwhelming way. Now they find themselves caught between trying to resist you and wanting to finally accept everything they feel for you. But here is the truth that almost no one realizes. The very thing they once struggled to accept about your appearance is actually connected to something much deeper within them. You remind them of emotions they locked away years ago. You bring back feelings they believed had disappeared forever. It is not because you caused any pain or did something wrong. It is because your presence awakens a part of them they thought they had already forgotten. That is why they sometimes look at you without saying a word. That is why they become unusually quiet when they are near you. That is why their emotions seem stronger and harder to control around you. It is not because they are rejecting you. It is because they are experiencing a powerful combination of fear, vulnerability, and feelings they cannot deny. And when they finally accept this reality, everything inside them begins to transform. Their silence starts to change. Their energy begins to shift. Their behavior slowly reveals what they have been hiding because deep down they already understand one important truth. They cannot simply replace you. No one else carries the same presence you carry. No one else makes them feel understood in the way you do. No one else reaches the hidden parts of their heart like you have. Even though they may still be confused right now, their heart has already started choosing you in a quiet way. Stay until the end, because something even more meaningful is waiting for you. There is a reason you found these words today. There is a reason something inside you needed to hear this message at this exact moment. For so long, you have questioned your own value because of the insecurities you carried about your appearance. For so long, you may have believed that love was only meant for those who looked flawless, those who matched some unrealistic image of perfection. But genuine love does not begin with having a perfect appearance. Real love begins when someone recognizes something authentic, something rare, and something deeply meaningful within you. And this person recognizes something special about you, something they cannot easily forget, something they cannot pretend does not exist. That is why their emotions continue returning to you even when they attempt to create distance. They may try to step away physically, but emotionally, a part of them remains connected to you. Because your presence stays in their thoughts during moments of silence. It remains with them even when there is distance between you. It follows them even when they try to convince themselves they should move on. And whether you realize it or not, something has already started changing inside this connection. Their resistance is slowly becoming weaker. Their feelings are becoming stronger with every passing day. Soon, they will have to face a choice they can no longer avoid. Will they continue hiding from what they feel, or will they finally accept the truth they have been fighting against all this time? The truth is that their feelings are real. Their connection with you is deeper than they expected. And it is not about ignoring the thing they once struggled with about your appearance. It is about understanding that the very thing they questioned became connected to the emotions that drew them closer to you. When this realization fully reaches their heart, they will no longer be able to look at you the same way again, because they will finally understand that what they were searching for was never perfection. It was something genuine, something honest, something that felt impossible to find. There is something they have never openly admitted, something they hide every time their eyes stay on you longer than they should. And tonight, you are going to understand the reason behind their actions. Do not skip this part, because the next truth reveals what they have been silently carrying inside. This person appears completely normal around everyone else. They seem calm, confident, and unaffected by ordinary situations. But when it comes to you, something changes. Their emotions become difficult to control. Their thoughts become louder, their heart becomes restless with feelings they cannot explain. And the most surprising part is that it often begins with one small detail about you that they cannot stop remembering. Not because it pushes them away, but because it affects them more deeply than they expected. The thing they find the hardest to accept is actually connected to how deeply they already care about you. If there were no feelings involved, none of this would affect them in such a powerful way. But it does, every single day. And they are trying with all their strength to hide it from everyone around them. Sometimes they create distance because your beauty feels too overwhelming for them emotionally. Not beauty in the simple or ordinary sense, but a deeper kind of beauty. The type that cannot be fully described through words. The type that stays in someone's thoughts during quiet nights. The type that returns when everything becomes silent. The type that leaves a mark and changes someone in ways they never expected. Stay until the end, because what happens next will reveal something that may completely surprise you. Very soon, this person is going to show emotions they have been keeping hidden for a very long time. It may not happen in a direct way at first. It could appear through a small gesture, a message they send, the way they look at you, or a moment of honesty that they never planned to reveal. But when that moment arrives, you will finally understand something unbelievable. They were never truly criticizing your appearance. They were fighting against their own emotions internally. They were trying to protect themselves from becoming too vulnerable because deep down, they already know you are unlike anyone else they have ever encountered. And once someone recognizes that kind of connection, it becomes almost impossible to simply walk away. This person secretly worries that you do not fully recognize your own value. They notice how often you judge yourself. They see the insecurities you hide behind your laughter and your smiles. They notice the moments when you step away from attention because you are afraid people may misunderstand you. And every time they witness those things, their feelings become even stronger because your imperfections are what make you real. Your humanity is what makes you impossible for them to forget. Do not leave now, because the biggest truth is still waiting to be revealed. Late at night, when the world becomes quiet and there are no distractions left, this person finds themselves asking the same question again and again. What happens if I lose them? That question stays with them because even with all their confusion, all their fears, and all the emotional walls they have built, their heart has already chosen you. Deep down, they know this. That is exactly why your appearance affects them so strongly. Not because there is something wrong with it, but because it carries a sense of honesty and emotion they cannot ignore. You remind them that love is not about having a flawless exterior. Real connection comes from feeling accepted, understood, and seen. And somehow, you make them feel understood in a way that no one else ever has before. Share this with someone who has ever questioned their worth because of how they look. Something powerful is approaching because the space between you and this person is not permanent. The silence will not last forever. The confusion will not continue endlessly either. A major shift is coming. And when that moment finally arrives, this person will no longer be able to pretend that you do not affect them. They will stop hiding behind their emotional barriers. They will stop avoiding the connection that exists between you. Because some people come into your life only for a short chapter, but others leave a permanent mark on your soul. Whether they admit it today or realize it later, you have already become someone unforgettable to them. That is the reality they can no longer escape. You were never meant to discover this truth so quickly, but the signs have become too clear to ignore. There is someone who pays more attention to your silence than your words. Someone who acts as if they are emotionally detached while secretly becoming more connected to you with every passing day. And tonight, the hidden reason behind their actions is finally beginning to come forward. Do not skip this. Stay until the end, because something meaningful is waiting for you. This person has tried everything possible to control what they feel. They told themselves it was only temporary. They convinced themselves that they were imagining the bond between you. They tried to follow logic instead of listening to their emotions. But every time they see you, everything they tried to control starts falling apart again. Because there is one specific thing about your appearance that they cannot emotionally escape. Not because it creates a negative feeling, but because it touches something deep inside them. And the shocking truth is this: they are afraid that if they fully accept how much you affect them, they may never be able to truly let you go. Yes, this is the secret they have been keeping hidden. Listen carefully now. Every time you enter a place, this person immediately feels a change in the atmosphere. It is not something they consciously choose anymore. Their attention naturally moves toward you. Their eyes look for you before they even realize it. Their emotions respond before their mind has the chance to control them. And what affects them the most is knowing that you probably have no idea what is happening inside them. You believe they are completely calm, but beneath the surface, they are experiencing an emotional storm. Do not skip this part, because the next realization changes everything. The feature they struggle to accept about your appearance is connected to something much deeper: vulnerability. Maybe it is the kindness reflected in your eyes. Maybe it is the way you look when you are carrying the weight of difficult moments. Maybe it is the quiet pain hidden behind your smile that most people never notice. Whatever that special quality is, it awakens a protective feeling inside them. And that feeling scares them more than anything, because when someone begins to truly care, they also become capable of being deeply hurt. That is why this person sometimes suddenly becomes distant. It is not because their emotions disappeared. It is not because they stopped caring. It is because their feelings became more real, more intense, and more powerful than they expected. Something powerful is about to unfold for you. There are moments, especially during quiet nights, when this person finds themselves going back through memories of you again and again. They are not only remembering the big conversations or the obvious moments that everyone would notice. Instead, their mind returns to the tiny details that most people would completely overlook. The little things about you that seemed ordinary at the time have become unforgettable to them. The way you looked away for a second while lost in your thoughts, the way your expression changed when you felt something deeply, the way your eyes revealed emotions that your words never had the courage to express. Those small moments stayed inside their heart because they showed a side of you that felt completely genuine. They noticed the emotions behind your silence. They noticed the feelings hidden behind your smile. They noticed the things you tried to keep hidden, but your energy naturally revealed. And now, no matter how much they try to move forward, no matter how much they convince themselves that they should forget, those memories continue returning because something about you left an emotional mark they cannot erase. The truth is, your presence communicated things that your voice never needed to explain. Your appearance, your expressions, your reactions, and your energy all told a story that they could feel. They understood emotions from you that were never spoken directly. And that is what makes this so difficult for them, because they were never expecting to encounter someone who felt this authentic. For so long, they were surrounded by temporary connections, temporary conversations, temporary attention, temporary feelings that disappeared as quickly as they arrived. They learned to protect their heart because they believed everyone eventually leaves or changes. They became comfortable with people who only showed certain parts of themselves. They became used to relationships where emotions were hidden and sincerity was rare. Then you appeared. You came into their life with something different. You carried honesty in your eyes. You carried warmth in your presence. You carried a kind of emotional depth they were not prepared to experience. And now their heart is struggling because the defenses they built for so long are starting to fall apart. Do not look away, because you are getting closer to the biggest realization of all. This person has been comparing others to you without even realizing it. They may try to distract themselves. They may try to meet new people. They may try to convince themselves that moving on is the easiest choice. But every time they interact with someone else, something feels incomplete. There is a feeling missing, a connection missing, a certain emotional comfort missing, because nobody else carries the same presence that you do. Nobody else creates the same feeling of peace in their mind. Nobody else makes simple moments feel meaningful the way you do. Nobody else leaves behind such a powerful emotional impression just by being themselves. And deep inside, they know this. They may not openly admit it. They may try to ignore it. They may even fight against the feeling because accepting it would force them to face emotions they have been avoiding. But that truth is becoming harder and harder to deny. The most unexpected revelation is this. The very thing they struggle to understand about you is actually the exact thing that makes them feel emotionally connected to you. Your imperfections are what make you real to them. Your emotions are what make you comforting to them. Your honesty is what makes you impossible to replace. In a world where so many people try to appear perfect, where everyone tries to show only their best side, you showed something different. You showed humanity, you showed vulnerability, you showed emotions that were not created for attention but came from a genuine place inside you. And that is why they continue feeling drawn toward you even when they try to create distance. It is not only about physical attraction, it is not only about memories, it is something much deeper than that. There is a sense of emotional safety they feel when they think about you. Their mind feels calmer when they remember your presence. Their heart feels understood when they replay moments with you. There is something about your energy that makes them feel like they can finally stop pretending. That is something they cannot easily find somewhere else. Comment vulnerable if this message connected with your heart and made you think differently about love, emotions, and the way someone sees you. Because this person is reaching a point where they can no longer keep everything hidden inside. The signs are already beginning to appear. Their actions are changing slowly. The way they think about you is becoming stronger. Their curiosity about you is increasing. The emotional walls they created are beginning to weaken. The distance they once believed would make things easier is actually making them realize how much your presence meant. And when the truth finally comes to the surface, many confusing moments between you will start making sense. You will understand why they looked at you longer than normal. You will understand why they became quiet at certain times. You will understand why their energy changed whenever they were near you. You will understand why they kept coming back emotionally even after trying to create space. It was never just a simple connection. It was never just a passing attraction. It was never something meaningless. It was a deep emotional bond that they could feel but could not fully explain. Sometimes people struggle the most with feelings that are too powerful to ignore. They can handle temporary emotions because those are easy to walk away from. But when someone reaches a place where another person starts affecting their thoughts, their emotions, and the way they see love itself, that becomes much harder to escape. And that is exactly where this person is now. They are reaching the point where hiding their feelings is becoming more painful than admitting them. Pretending not to care is becoming harder than accepting the truth. Acting unaffected is becoming impossible because their heart keeps reminding them of what they experienced with you. Do not skip this part because something important is waiting for you. This story is not meant to end with confusion. It is not meant to remain unfinished forever. It is moving toward understanding, toward honesty, toward the moment when this person finally stops fighting against what their heart already knows. The truth is simple.